Hey, good evening, everybody. This is Desmond with a quick update video. No Bible study today. Just figure I'd just go ahead and just talk about some new things that may be happening on the channel, and of course, some things that have been going on in ministry. First of all, I just want to thank you guys, everyone who's been tuning in, those who've been commenting with the remarks, the perspectives, biblically speaking. Um, just wanted to go ahead and take the time just to thank the guys I've been sharpening iron with. They've been like an amazing group of men and women. I've been privileged to go ahead and talk about the word with and be corrected by, and sometimes have the opportunity to correct as well. It's just like a continual sharpening of iron. So it's been great doing that with everybody. But yeah, if to those who just newly subscribed to the channel, I also want to thank you for just doing that. I mean, it's been really good just to meet new people, people who come from different perspectives. I mean, just what I think Sunday it was, we just met Kingdom 15, and he was ex Jehovah's Witness, so he had a lot of good commentary in regards to oneness, Unitarianism, Trinitarianism, and all these other views we have on God. And just just correcting the heresies that are out there, especially when someone come up against the Trinity. What do we say against people who say that Jesus is not God? What do we say to people who say that Jesus is all three? I just want to continue to make this channel a place where we can continue hearing these perspectives in a safe environment. What I mean by that is that you're able to hear these things, but also hear the biblical side of it as well. Me and my brother Cece, we actually made a little booklet called Show Me, Christian Answers to Mormon Evangelism. It's like our first little free booklet we're giving out to people, and just kind of help you if you're interested in sharing your faith with Mormons, but you want to kind of like know what they believe so that we have a better understanding of how to respond to them. Well, this booklet would actually help you do that. Again, if you go to www.thekogministry.org, if you go over to the training site, we do have that booklet out there for free. And that's the e-version. Now, if you want like the actual hard copy, well, obviously you have to pay for that one, but everything, we try to make everything free that comes out of here. But other than that, no, I just want to just really thank God for having the opportunity to have a channel like this. Even though it's a small channel, but yet it's a how you say it feels familiar. Everyone who comes in, we know who they are. I like that small feeling anyway, and um, just being able to just really just iron out those discussions. I really test my own faith. Case in point, when I go out and witness to Mormons, for example, and they bring up the Trinity, I can tell you, like, after having these discussions about the Trinity, like in previous times past and up to now, my conversation has advanced drastically in comparison. Just having my views tested by, for example, by Walter, or going through scriptures with the other guys who do believe in the Trinity but are willing to play devil's advocate at times. It helps with just evangelism in general. And I do want to help people become encouraged, because we are living in the last days, and more people need to hear the gospel. More people need to know who Jesus is, the true Jesus, not this fake Jesus that cliches have created. Well, Jesus is all about love, but we also know he's just. We know that he's holy. He cares about what we actually believe about when it comes to God. We know that there's a real enemy out there, that tries to deceive us. So it's important for us to understand that we have to be spiritually ready to take on these forces that come against us and try to make us ineffective. While I don't believe we can lose our salvation, they can make our testimony irrelevant. In other words, think of someone who calls himself a Christian and yet they live any kind of way they want to live. You know, what kind of testimony does that say? What have you actually been freed from? You know, so that's basically what I'm saying, is that we're trying to equip the saints, and we're trying to help people know what their faith is, know what other views are out there, and also just knowing how to articulate your own view. How do you defend yourself? How do you go on the offense? I mean, we talk about defending ourselves, but you also have to go on the offense too. When you go out there to evangelize, you're taking the fight to the enemy. You're not staying within the four walls of a church building. You're going out there to meet the masses, and they're going to ask you questions. How do you know Jesus is God? Why is there, three persons and yet, one God, and all these other questions out there? Those are all important questions, and we need to be able to answer. We can't just ignore those questions and expect people to believe. God tells us in First Peter chapter 3, verse 15, give a ready answer in humility and meekness. We should have a ready defense whenever someone has a question about the hope we have within us. So again, just want to thank everyone for just making the channel for what it is. Um, and the guys who I've been, chopping it up with, it's just been really good. So yeah, other than that, so what new things are going to happen, right? Obviously, I've been working on the actual outside of live videos. I'm working on just regular teaching videos. Like I've been working on the eternal security. I'm still doing different parts to that. So the first part was just explaining what that is, answering some objections. Second part was talking about how the new birth is relevant to the doctrine of eternal security. I'm going to continue that, but also going to look into the deity of Christ. I'm going to work with other people as well to make those videos even more, how you say it, more compelling, more interesting. I'm always trying to make my videos look more creative when I do make those. So those take a lot more time. I'm the only guy who's doing it, and I'm just learning about Adobe and all these other programs that goes into making the stuff that I'm creating. So yeah, those take time, and I try to set markers for myself. Like, hey, I'm gonna get it done by this time. But I'm gonna stop doing that because sometimes when I do that, I don't always meet those expectations. So uh, I'm just going to take my time with those, but at the same time, like I said, it's all about the teaching. It's all about making sure the information gets out there and that people are hearing the views and knowing how to distinguish which one is from which. So, um, yeah, other than that, I want to get into evangelism. I was talking to some of my brothers here in St. Louis, and we're going to host a Bible study here where people can just come in and we can discuss the Bible live and have a live group. So outside of the lives I'm doing with the guys online, we'll do that in person as well. I used to do that quite a bit, and I'm just trying to get back into it. When life takes off, people had to go to work, people had to go to school, and all this other stuff. So we just never got back into it. So I'm trying to bring it back. So hopefully, God willing, He'll help us go ahead and start those live Bible studies again, and also evangelize. I got like a tent, get some friends to help me cook, and we're going to invite people, just random people, like, hey, come hear the gospel and get some food, and I'll try to show that on the stream as well. So those are a couple of things I want to go ahead and get done here, and hopefully I'll be edifying to everyone who is a part. But yeah, other than that, this isn't meant to be a long video at all, just to hear me rant and ramble. I do appreciate you guys for listening to me for as long as you have. But again, I just ask for prayer. I definitely pray that we all come to unity in Christ. I know the enemy doesn't like us all come together. I mean, he likes to keep us divided. So that's the thing. Don't ever become divided over secondary issues. I mean, if someone says, well, Jesus isn't God, yes, we'll divide over that. But if it's over like Bible translations or anything like that, we're not going to divide over that because, again, those are secondary issues, not primary. Make sure that we're, testing our views. Don't be so gun ho over your doctrine unless it's biblically shown. Like, hey, this is what it is. There are doctrines that are a little more ambiguous, and we should be open to the idea, like, hey, maybe I'm wrong. And if that's the case, it's not about oh, I'm right and you're wrong. It's about God being right and we're proven to be wrong, right? It's about Christ being edified, being glorified, and all of us being edified. So, try to put the ego to the side. That's what we try to do here. And just be corrected by each other. It's a good thing to be corrected. Like I said, I've learned quite a bit from these brothers and sisters, even those I disagree with. I mean, even then, they've helped me, become even more biblically astute when it comes to my own doctrine. So I appreciate that. Without some sort of turmoil, you're never going to become that warrior you're supposed to be. So, but again, hey guys, check out www.thekogministry.org. Again, go to the training section, and you will see that booklet that me and Cece made, so you can help evangelize to Mormons. There's a lot of them out there that go out there and evangelize to people. A lot of Christians don't have answers. So this booklet is meant to give you at least the basic overview of Mormonism and compare that to biblical Christianity. So it's like a really quick guide as to what's the difference between the two religions are. And then you can just really get to the meat and bones of the issue. So, all right, guys, I'm going to go ahead and close it up here. There's not going to be any outro or anything like that. So I will see you guys this Saturday. We'll be talking about the King James. Is it a reliable translation? Are there errors in it? Is there a pure word of God? The difference is here. I'm not going to get involved. I'm going to let the brothers here just go ahead and discuss their views on the King James. And these are guys who are primarily King James onlyist. Um, just want them to explain their views, and then a couple weeks after that, we'll have the other brothers talking about their views on the King James and the modern versions and stuff like that, and explain why they don't hold to those views. And I'll just say this right now. Me personally, I primarily use the King James version, but I do see the benefit in other translations as well. I don't have an issue with it, but that's neither here nor there. That's just a non-salvific issue. But again, it's a conversation that Christians do have, and it is important when people come to ask you, like, why are there contradictions in the Bible and this and that. So we're going to need to know how to answer those, and hopefully these brothers here can give some answers in regards to the King James, at least in their view of the King James Bible. So, all right, guys, I am out. Enough of me rambling. Have a good night, everybody.